Alright, I think it's time to actually start this thing. Welcome to a playthrough of Imperial Assault Legends of the Alliance, which is the new Imperial Assault app that lets you play either solo or cooperative, oh god, it's late already, against the AI in the app and against 5 different scenarios in a campaign. So, first of all, let's quickly go over the settings. There is a language button that doesn't work right now, or not yet, I'd say. They will probably localize the app into many different languages, but that's not available right now. And of course we can select sound effects, which we don't care, we just leave it on. Then the most important tab is the Collections tab, where you can check all of the content you already bought and you want to include in your campaign. For the first campaign, I will actually just include the Imperial Assault core game contents for a few different reasons. First of all, it's what most people interested in the app will actually have and want to play, because not all of them will have access to certain expansions, or either to any expansions for that matter. So we will just play core box, but I will also play the campaign in a higher difficulty later on, with more expansions enabled, probably with all expansions enabled. I own all of the expansions and all of the ally and villain packs, so there is no problem there, but I will probably also go over which expansions you might want to buy if you want to optimize your team for success in the app campaign. With that, we'll take a quick look on the load screen. This is just a test load session I have, where I try out some stuff and try to play through the campaign to prepare for the actual stream. So we will go over and just create a new game and see if and we will not play the tutorial. You can, if you're new to the game, I urge you to please play the tutorial, as it goes over how the basic mechanics of the game work, how to roll the dice, how attacking defending works, how interacting with object and doors work, and how to move your characters, turn structure, and all of the good stuff. All of this is in the tutorial, and the tutorial is basically one mission, so it takes you about an hour or so, or a little bit longer maybe if you're doing it very diligently. So shouldn't take too long. After that, you're ready for the campaign and you can start the campaign. I will use knowledge gained in the tutorial for actually narrating the combat and the missions. So if you're not very versed into the mechanics of the game, please play the tutorial first, or read on the fantasyflightgames.com. You can head over to the products page and look up the rules book for Imperial Assault, which has all of the stuff that also appears in the tutorial. But we will play Flight of the Freedom Fighter, the first campaign available in the app. There will be more campaigns later on, which will probably cost money. But for now, the Flight of the Freedom Fighter campaign is for free, so you just need the core box, and you can then play with the app without having to pay anything else. So we will play the only campaign that's available right now, and then we can select the difficulty. Normal is it's still challenging, especially if you play only with the core box. So if you're not out for a beating, please choose normal. It's challenging enough. I will do a playthrough on hard with trying to optimizing my strategy and trying a few tricks. But for now, just for the first campaign, we will choose normal. And then we choose a save slot. We take the first save slot in this case, and we choose our team. If you have not checked in the collections tab any box expansions, you only get to choose one of the 6 or 2 to 4 of the 6 core box heroes. So this is from left to right. This is Diala Pasil actually, Fenn Cygnus, Gaarkahn, Gideon. What's his name actually? I need to look this up. I forgot. I had it open, but so this is Rebel Heroes. Gideon Argus, actually. So it's Gideon Argus. The next one is Jin Odin. She's actually very much modeled after Jin in Rogue One, even though she has a different last name. But how she works and how she moves in the battlefield reminds you very much about Jin, which is odd because the core box came out like 2 years before Rogue One came to the cinemas, so there shouldn't be any connection there, but it really feels that way. So, last character is Meg Ashkare, which is a both and sniper, and for our team we will probably choose a optimized team, which is it should include Fenn, for reasons I'll go over quite quickly. Gaarkahn. We will also choose Mac, and then it really depends on your playstyle. I'll choose Gideon, but he's incredibly strong if you play the normal campaign on the table with your friends. But the way characters gain experience points in this app is a little bit different, so he cannot advance to his key abilities as fast in the app as he can on the board. So this means he's not as strong as on the board, but he's still strong, and since we do want to win the campaign, we will probably take him. Other choices are, so Diala and Jin are also good choices. I'd actually choose Jin because she has very good action advantage, which you need in the later stages of the campaign because there are so many enemy figures and you need to efficiently clear them all, and Jin can help you with that. Diala can do this in a way, but not as good. And of course Gideon can also do this with action advantage. So we will choose Gideon and start the campaign. Then we have to select a name for our squad, and these are the core box crushers. And then we are presented with a little bit of narration about how the actual campaign works, or starts rather. Okay, and it says, from within the secret rebel base on Yavin 4, you listen anxiously as the pilots of Red and Gold squadrons face down the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. You cheer with joyful relief when Luke Skywalker destroys the Imperial installation with a single shot. You stand at grateful attention as Princess Leia Organa presents Skywalker and Han Solo with awards for their meritorious service. Yet, the ceremony has hardly finished when Rebel Command orders a full evacuation of Yavin 4 base. You help load transports, uncertain how long you have until the Empire arrives. This is a bit at odds if you did play the Battlefront 2 campaign or read the associated novel, which deals with I forgot the name of the squad, but the name of Iden Versio. She actually is involved in the defense of the Death Star, of the first Death Star, and she crash lands with her TIE fighter on Yavin 4 and then proceeds to steal a ship and escape from Yavin 4, which makes it seem that the Empire didn't really have in mind a large-scale assault on the planet or on the moon of Yavin 4 itself. So this is a little bit of a narrative clash, but I'll give him that this just happened, so it's not that much of a deal. So this is how each mission starts. You have a little bit of narration. Most of the transports have departed Yavin 4, yet you remain tasked with providing security to the last few ships that are still being loaded. You are patrolling the perimeter of the base, keeping an eye out for any Imperial forces that might slip past the base defense or the base's sensors, and lookouts to land on the surface. Then it gives you a list of tiles to place on the board and to connect, like shown in the map below. And it also tells you how many objects, in this case it's just one door, and where to place them, of course. So I actually already prepared that. It should come up right now, and you should also see the actual window of the app should be on the top right, so you can see what the app is telling me to do all of the time. So I actually prepared this already, so let's look at this. We have our 4 heroes with their starting weapons. We will go over their abilities in a moment. Then we have the actual map with the door here, and the tokens for our heroes, which represents their figures. This is just a 2D representation. If you're playing on the board, these are of course real miniatures, which look awesome. So, and you should paint them, unlike I do. So, okay. Let's say we place the map, we place the door. Click continue. Your squad gathers at the entrance to one of the base's docking facilities, having just completed another circuit around the structure. And now I get to deploy the rebels. This is the tile, or this is the space on this tile, where I need to start placing my 4 figures. So the first figure I place needs to be in this space. All other figures needs to be as close to this space as possible, which usually means they need to be adjacent. So first of all, we want to deploy Gideon here. And then we can deploy the other figures, which is Gaarkahn, Fenn, and Mac. And for reasons we will see in a moment, I will actually try to put... Yeah, let's not do it this way. Let's do it that way. Let's deploy Mac first, then Gideon to the bottom. Gaarkahn here. And Fenn there. There's a reason for this I will go over in a moment. And then we deploy the rebels. You can continue. You are sharing your reports from your latest patrols when you hear an unusual humming sound coming from the direction of the forest. You turn slowly, eyes searching the dense overgrowth of the for the source of the sound. Then you see it, an Imperial probe droid. Deploy the Imperial probe droid. So this means we need to get one of these cards. Oh, nope, only one of them. In this case, an Imperial probe droid, and place the card somewhere on the table. And I also created a figure for them. And this is actually, yeah, this is the right space. So we put him here. And I go over the abilities of this enemy when he actually activates. Okay, we did this. So there is another probe droid. This time it's a regular probe droid. So let's fetch the first regular probe droid, which in this case I already named it. It is the purple probe droid, and he is deployed at the tree there. So we will give him the purple color. And then we have another probe droid which we will paint black. Place the card, place the figure. I think this is the right, yeah, this is the right space. This is the black one. So after that, you radio in to the command center to report the probe droids. Take them out, quickly, a woman's voice replies. This is the officer on duty, Lieutenant Telkon. If they signal back to their ship, the Empire will know where to send their troops. You need to defeat the probe droids before they can signal their ship. Objective updated, defeat the probe droids. So, and now the first round starts, and each round starts with the heroes activating, and then alternately the heroes and the enemy figures activate in turn until everyone has had a go, and then the round ends. So we can choose which figure to activate first. First, let's quickly go over our heroes and how they actually work. We have Mac, who is a bold renegade, but I usually call him Sniper. He has the ability Ambush, used when you declare an attack targeting a figure that does not have line of sight to you. This attack gains Pierce 2, which means I can ignore defense results rolled by enemy figures. Up to 2, of course. He's also covert. Hostile figures 4 or more spaces away from you do not have line of sight to you. You do not block line of sight for those figures, so he cannot be targeted unless you get really close to him. Not really close to him, but at least a little bit closer. And his weapon has surge abilities for +1 damage and Pierce 1, and rolls 2 blue dice. Then we have Gaarkahn. He is a fierce warrior, and he has a special action charge. Move a number of spaces up to your speed, then you may perform an attack with a melee weapon. So he's a melee character, so he can only attack figures adjacent to himself, or at most 1 space away if he has a weapon with reach. To help him out in this regard, he gets an ability that lets him close the gap. So this is what Charge does. He also has Rage. After an attack targeting you is resolved, if you suffered 3 or more damage, you become focused. So focus is a condition where you get to add another die, in this case a green die, to your next roll, be it an attribute test or an attack. Then we have Fenn Cygnus, the hardened veteran. He has, Gaarkahn's attack weapon is actually a vibro axe with a surge for Pierce 1, and a search for cleave one, which I will probably go over how cleave works when we first encounter it. And he attacks with a red and a yellow die. Then we have Fenn Cygnus, who has Havoc Shot, used while attacking with a ranged weapon. This attack gains Blast 1. Blast 1 is similar to Cleave, but a little bit more devastating. He also has Lone Wolf at the end of your activation. If there are no friendly figures adjacent to you, recover 1 strain. His weapon is firing or rolling green and yellow. Oh, green and blue, of course. And he has a search for +1 damage and a search for +1 accuracy. And last but not least, we have Gideon Argus, our valiant commander. He has a special action command. Choose another friendly figure within 3 spaces. That figure may interrupt to either perform 1 move or 1 attack. And he also has Disabling Shot. While attacking with a ranged weapon, you gain Search for Stun. Stun isn't really that powerful in the app for reasons I will go over later, but Gideon will not really be in the position to attack that often, so it doesn't really matter. So, with that in mind, we can decide who is first gonna activate. So, but first let's quickly go in the channel. Yeah, hi Hingadora. Yes, I'm playing on Roll20, which is a website that lets you play board games in the browser, but you have to create all of the map tiles yourself. So it's a bit of a hassle to set up, but it looks clean enough, I think, and it's more flexible than Tabletop Simulator, where you can only play pre-arranged maps. So if the app tells me to extend the map later in the mission, I can do so very easily on Roll20, while I would have great trouble doing this on Tabletop Simulator, for instance. Okay, so my idea would be to attack one of these regular probe droids and defeat them before they can activate, because then they won't ever shoot at me and I gain some leverage against them. I cannot defeat all of them in one activation. That's just because they have too much health, but I can at least get one of them. So let's see, I could use Mac here and attack this guy and gain Pierce 2 each time, and that should be enough to maybe kill it. So let's see. So we will first activate Mac here, and he will first of all spend 1 strain for his ambush ability, because this icon actually... Oh, oops, sorry. This icon here. This means you need to... Oh, whoops. This means you need to pay a strain, which is each hero can suffer strain up to their endurance, which is basically their how much can they exert themselves during combat. And when this figure has 5 strain on it, it cannot suffer strain. It cannot suffer further strain voluntarily. It can only be forced to suffer strain, but that's another story. It has to rest first. So if you rest, you recover strain equal to your endurance, so you're free of strain again, and you can use your abilities again. So first of all, we suffer 1 strain for ambush, which gives us a Pierce 2 to the next attack, and we attack this guy, of course. Oops. Oh, no, not this way. So, the range would be 1, 2, 3, and line of sight works like this in Imperial Assault, just to go over this in a moment. If you take a ruler and choose one of the corners of the attacking figure, and if you can see 2 different corners of the enemy figure, while the line that points to these corners does not overlap, then you have line of sight to that figure. From Mac, I can see this corner and I can see this corner. I can see also this corner in the back, because you can see through the figure to the back corner always. So I can actually see, wait, let me see. I can see 3 different corners, but if I could only see this corner and this corner, I would not have line of sight, because the line of sight line from this from my corner to this corner and from my corner to this corner actually would overlap. So it's technically two different corners I can see, but not with two different vectors. So I need to see at least this one and this one, or this one and this one. So I do have line of sight. I can shoot, and I will roll my dice then. So I roll 2 blue dice. Wait, let's clear the chat first. Where's this? Clear current log. So we have an empty chat log, and I think you should be able to see it still. Let's check. Yes. So rolling first blue die, rolling the second blue die, and this is a pretty bad result, but we'll see. And the probe droid, the black probe droid defends with a black die. You can see it in this little icon on his deployment card. So let's see. This is actually a very bad result for me, because it means he has 3 blocks. Because I used my ambush ability, 2 of these block results are ignored. And I have 2 damage against 1 block. One of the blocks cancels one of my damage, so all in all, I only deal 1 damage. Why can't I select this now? Oh, I have this bug again. Oh no. Oh, sorry. No, I don't have it. My bad. So I deal 1 damage, which is not enough to actually make a huge dent in it. But we'll try again. So for my second action, which each hero gets 2 actions each round. For my second actions, I do the attack all over again. So let's see, I attack with blue and blue. And then he defends with black again. And I suffer... Oh, sorry, I forgot. I need to suffer 1 strain again for the Pierce 2, which is the whole reason why I want to do this. So I deal 3 damage. Pierce 2 means I ignore up to 2 defense results, so the defense is actually 0. So I deal 3 damage again. And which leaves the black probe droid at 4 damage out of 5 health, so I'm 1 damage short of defeating him. That's a bummer, but I cannot do anything else. Let's go over the ambush ability for a moment. It said use when you declare an attack targeting a figure that does not have line of sight to you, which means if this probe droid would measure from here to here, it can only see this corner of Mac, because these corners are obstructed by the walls, and this corner is actually obstructed by Gaarkahn, so it does not have line of sight. I can just shoot at him and use my ability. This is why I set up the groups like I did. So okay, but I cannot do anything else, so I have to accept the fact that I didn't achieve my goal and end my activation. I could use, I could suffer 2 strain more to move my figure up to 2 spaces, but I really don't want to, because I'm pretty comfortable here, and we'll see. Maybe I should use 1 strain. No, let's keep it like this. So I have to tell the app I'm done with my first activation, which means I tap on Mac's portrait and say end Mac Ashkaray's activation, which is right. And now the first enemy attacks. The purple probe droid attacks. He gets a bonus, gain +1 surge and +2 accuracy for this activation, basically. So this means when he rolls his attack die, he gets 1 surge and 2 accuracy for free, without having to do anything for it. Then it has the first action, which is actually an attack action. These actions are normal actions, and the actions that are preceded by this star symbol are attack actions. And this means they all have somewhere in their action an attack in them, and they can only resolve 1 attack action each round. So if they have more than 1 of these symbols in their action list, it only uses the first it can do, and then the second one is skipped. Or if there's if it is already a second one, then you proceed on to the list. These figures also get 2 actions, so it starts off with the first, which is an attack action to move to and attack Gaarkahn. So this guy is now moving to as close as he can to Gaarkahn, to there, and then he will shoot at Gaarkahn with his attack, which is blue, yellow, yellow, blue, yellow, yellow, and it's actually a very good result. And I get to defend with Gaarkahn, which is a defense of a black die. All of my figures have black dies, except Mac, who has a white die. So keep that in mind. So we defend with black die, and it's just a and evade, which cancels actually a surge result. So to this result I actually need to add accuracy of 2, so the total accuracy is 3, 2 is 5, plus 2 is actually accuracy of 7, and I only need an accuracy of 2 to reach Gaarkahn, so no problem there. It also gets 1 extra surge result, which means it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 surge results. I have 1 evade, which means 1 surge result is subtracted, leaving the probe droid with 2 damage and 4 surge results. So how to spend these surges? There is a button in the actual activation window, which means surge priority, and then it tells me to first try to use 1 surge to recover 1 damage. The purple droid hasn't suffered any damage, so he skips this instruction. Then it has a surge for plus 1 damage, which is of course used. So it's 1, 2, 3 damage. And then it would actually spend a surge for Pierce 1, but since I don't have any, since I didn't roll any blocks at all, this Pierce doesn't do anything. Technically it is chosen, but since it doesn't do anything, I can just ignore it. So all in all, we have 2 damage. Oh, sorry, a 1 damage bonus from the surge, which means 3 damage, and I'm suffering these 3 damage. And now, that's the problem here. Gaarkahn is focused now, which means at his next attack or attribute test, he actually gets a bonus green die, which is very powerful actually. So, with that in mind, this guy moves on to his second action, which is move 2 to reposition 3. Reposition 3 means he tries to get away 3 spaces from every and all rebel figure. So in this case the nearest figure is Fenn, and he wants to get away from Fenn as far as possible. So he moves 1, 2, like there. And now he's away 1, 2, 3 from Fenn, 1, 2, 3, 4 from Gaarkahn, 1, 2, 3, 4 from Gideon, and also 4 from Max. So he achieves his goal as soon as he is frees 3 or more space. As soon as he is 3 spaces away from the nearest rebel, he immediately ends this action. So he wouldn't move on further if he would have a higher move amount here. He would just try to reposition to a distance of 3. With that, this activation is over, and we get to choose our activation. So we will try to now get through this guy, because these 2 will still activate, but I could use Fenn actually. That's actually a better idea. Okay, we will not use Gaarkahn is focused. This means he would attack with 3 dice, which is very powerful to get through high defense values. So the chances of him dealing this 1 damage here that's needed to defeat the black probe droid is very, very high, and I don't want to waste my focus on this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna activate Gaarkahn right now. I'm gonna activate Fenn actually, sorry, not Finn. Been to the movies too much lately. The Last Jedi is very amazing, by the way. So, and he will go to... I don't want to overexert myself. I can shoot from where I'm standing. 1, 2, 3. I can now gamble. I know that Fenn is attacking with a blue and a green die. On the blue die you get a minimum accuracy result of 2, and on the green die you get a minimum accuracy result of 1. So I get a minimum range of 3, and the black die is actually 4 away. So what I want to do is, I want to gamble a bit. I want to stand here and start shooting at the elite probe droid, because the regular probe droids, they have a 5 health, and the elite probe droid has 7 health. He also has much better surge abilities, which means he can recover better, he can do, which is actually a bad idea if I would do it now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So first of all, let's... Yeah, I will activate Fenn, and will 1, 2, 3, 4. I will take a shot at the black probe droid, because I can. So with a blue and a green, I have a range of 4, which is just enough to actually reach it. And then he's going to defend with a black die. So, and Fenn can use his surges for +1 damage and +1 accuracy, if I'm correct. Yes. So, with that, we have a total amount of 3 damage against 1 block, which means this guy is suffering 2 damage, which puts him over the threshold of 5, and now he is defeated. He's off the board, and we will mark this in the app by just defeating the... Oh, wait. Oh, he wasn't actually... Oh, that's good, yeah. We're defeating the Black Probe Droid. And we will just get rid of him a little bit. He will return quite soon, I feel, but for now he's gone. And we actually spared our heroes 1 activation, or 1 attack rather. And then he will stand where he's standing and also attack this guy, or he would actually move up 1 here. For 1 strain, he will move up 1 space and attack this purple probe droid with the same dice again, with blue and green, against the black die. And this time I have enough range, 5 against the 2 I need, and it's an evade result, so my surge is cancelled. I deal only 2 damage, which is... it's okay. And after that, Fenn is ending his activation. Don't forget, he has the ability Lone Wolf. At the end of your activation, if there are no friendly figures adjacent to you, you recover 1 strain, which in this case actually happens. And with that... oh, sorry. I accidentally clicked on the door. With that, we have Fenn's activation done. And now the Elite Probe Droid tries to actually harm us. Okay. He also gains 1 surge and +2 accuracy for his attack, but he also has targeting computer, gain +1 damage and +2 accuracy. So all in all, before he actually rolls the first die, he has +1 surge, +1 damage and +4 accuracy. So with that, he moves 3 to attack Fenn's Ignis. He moves 1, because that's all he needs to be as close as possible. And then he's gonna just attack with his attack of blue, yellow, yellow. That's actually a very good result for me, actually. And then we will defend with a black die. Very good, very good. Okay, so Probe Droid rolled 2 damage in the surge. Don't forget, he gets another surge and another damage, so it's 3 damage and 2 surges against 2 blocks. Let's see how he spends the surge results. First of all, he's gonna get +2 damage with 1 of the surges, making it 5 damage. And then he's gonna use a surge for Pierce 2, which means my 2 blocks are actually negated. Which means, in total, I suffer 5 damage, which is atrocious. Oh, sorry. Which is atrocious. Oh, wait. Like this. Pretty strong, these guys. And then he's moving 2 to reposition 3. So, 1, 2. And he actually, 1, 2, 3. He's now 3 away from Gaarkahn. He's now 3 away from Fenn. So he actually achieved his goal. Like before, he tries to do it as best as he can. But if he cannot get 3 away from everyone, he tries to get away to the maximum extent possible. So maybe 2 from the nearest and 3 from everyone else. So well, that's the activation of the Probe Droid. And now I have my 2 final activations. Let's check. I will now take Gaarkahn, and he will actually spend 2 strain for charge. Yeah, so charge, don't forget, it's an action. It costs 2 strain. Move a number of spaces equal to your speed, up to a number of spaces equal to your speed. Let's see. Yeah, so I can only move 2. I could move up to 4, but I don't want to extend myself too much. So I moved up to 2, because this means I can then reposition afterwards much better. And now I attack the Elite Probe Droid with my attack of red, yellow, green, and he's defending with black, of course. So we throw a red, a yellow, and a green against his black. And we have a decent result, actually. So I have 5 damage, plus 1 surge, which I'm going to spend to pierce 1. 5 damage pierce 1 against 2 blocks, which means one of these blocks is negated. The second one is actually calculated against my 5 damage. This means I deal 4 damage to this probe droid, and I'm no longer focused because I used up my focus. I can bring up focus here for you to read. There it is. When you declare an attack or attribute test, add 1 green die to the dice pool. After you resolve an attack or attribute test, you must discard this card. So we just did this. And now I get to attack a second time because I only spent 1 action so far. Which means we attack with yellow and red again. That's very bad. Against the black. Which means only 1 damage. And since I didn't defeat him, and I could actually attack with Fenn, 2 damage, that should be okay, and this one needs 5, that's also okay. So, this was Gaarkahn's activation, and he's gonna not stay there actually, because I'm very positive I can get rid of the probe droid before he activates again, so suffer 2 more strain. That's actually a bad idea. Oh, sorry. He had 2 strain. He'll keep standing there, because then he can charge next round again and maybe get something done. Okay, this means Gaarkahn is done. Now we only have Gideon left, and Gideon will use his command ability to choose another friendly figure within 3 spaces. In this case it is Fenn. And Fenn will now attack. Or maybe do we want to attack with Gaarkahn? He has the Pierce 1. I have the +1 damage. No, we will attack with Fenn. Okay. Gideon is suffering 2 strain. To give an attack to Fenn, he will then attack with line of sight like this, from here to here. And from here to here. That should be perfectly legal. And the distance is 1, 2, 3, so this is minimum distance. He's gonna attack with blue and green against the black. And this is the 2 damage that I wanted. That's 2. The elite probe droid is now defeated with 7 damage of his 7 health. This. And now we only have 1 action of Gaarkahn left, of Gideon left actually. And I could move up to 1 and then shoot, which wouldn't be the worst idea. So I'm gonna do this, +1. Suffer 1 strain to move 1 space, and then from here attack this purple probe droid with my attack of blue and yellow. And the search for Pierce 2, so this should be okay actually. I need an accuracy of 3, which is 1 more than my minimum accuracy, but we'll just trust in the force on this one. Okay. So we roll a blue and a yellow. And we have the 3 accuracy, and he's rolling a black. And I'm using the search for... Yeah, I'm using it for a Pierce 2. This means I deal 2 damage on this to this probe droid. 4 or 5. That's 1 damage short of actually killing it. So I will maybe reconsider and only... I use the search to recover 1 strain. And for that I only deal 2 damage against 1 block, which means it's 1 damage. So I deal 1 damage less. And the probe droid has 2 health remaining. And I will keep Gideon there. I'm in a really bad position right now, because I know that guys will soon spawn in my immediate area and I will be in a lot of hurting, but for now we look fine. Oh, before we do that we need to not forget to defeat the elite probe droid, and now we can finish Gideon's activation. Now everyone has went and the first round is over. The surviving probe droid extends its antenna and broadcasts its location to its ship. You can be sure that more Imperial forces are on the way. And I'm not actually sure if this makes any difference, because I tried it out with defeating the probe droids in the first round or not. You still have a lot of figures to contend with either way, so I'm not sure that us not being able to clean up the board right now is a bad thing. So, nevertheless, first round is over. Now, moments later, more Imperial troops come crashing through the underbrush. Weapons hot.
It's them.
Yeah, and these are stormtroopers. We'll see soon enough what they can do. Let's take the black ones. Okay, so black stormtroopers. They have much fewer health than the probe droids, but what they do have is a much better attack because they have 3 attacks basically because there are 3 figures in this group, and these are the black probe droids, of course. Then we have an Imperial officer. That's actually very nice because these officers are not really strong in the core box if you play the campaign on the tabletop version, but in the app they are very, very strong, and I'm soon gonna show why. So they are actually placed here, and it's the black one. Then we have another officer, which is bad because I actually wanted to have only one officer here, and this one will be the purple one, and he will deploy here because I deployed the stormtroopers first, and he has to deploy as close as possible to this space, which means this is the only space that is one space away from the space I need to deploy to, given the purple color. Hey, it's enough now. Oh no, an EWAP. Wow, now it's gonna get tricky. Okay, so this is an EWAP engineer. This is the guy with the big gun, and he is gonna deploy where exactly? I probably will deploy him like this, maybe. Yeah, because he also can attack twice, and he has a really strong attack. And now, Imperial forces inbound, Lieutenant Telkin calls out. Hold them off as long as you can while we finish loading the last of the transports. If you start taking too many casualties, fall back into the base. May the Force be with you. Objective updated. Hold off the Imperial forces until the last transports can escape. This means that we have to hold out a number of rounds. And I think the number is 6, so we are almost there. But first, we will have the door to the base opens just long enough for 3 rebel troopers to rush out into the battlefield, and the door quickly closes behind them. And I get to deploy the rebel troopers basically for free. And these are also great because this is 3 figures I get, and I need to deploy them here, so I can deploy one there, and one there. And most importantly, deploy the regular rebel trooper group. Then each rebel trooper gains 6 movement points, means they can now spend 6 movement points to get into position and shoot from there, basically. Which means I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a very good reason why I'm pulling them up like this, which we will see in a moment. Okay, we did all of this, and now it's our turn again to choose which hero should go first and what to do with them. So we could try to get rid of the purple probe droid, but to be honest, these guys, they just deal too much damage. Let's go over the card quickly. So they have health of 5, similar to the probe droids, but they have an attack of blue, red, yellow, and they can, during your activation, you cannot, assault, you can perform multiple attacks each activation. Though technically in the app it says ignore the tripod ability on this group's card, which means he can move and shoot, and he can shoot twice each round, so not good. We want this guy gone as soon as possible. So how to best facilitate this? I could use these guys because they get bonus damage, and then I could block here That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I will use my rebel troopers to activate first, and they have, if you have not exited your space during this activation, apply +1 damage and +2 accuracy to your attack results. And they have a search for PS1 and a search for +1 accuracy. Which means they were gonna attack with... Actually, should I try to use Mac here? I will. I will not use the rebel trooper. I will try to use Mac and shoot twice at him. If I'm not gonna defeat him though, that's gonna be awful. I have the +1 damage on them, so it should be technically better to use them, yes. Because I can shoot with all of them should have line of sight to this guy without having to move. So let's start off with this guy. He's 1, 2, 3 spaces away, and he can see him with like this and like this. So he's gonna roll a blue and a yellow die against the black die. And he gets +1 damage, so I have 4 damage against 2 blocks. That's 2 damage. Now he can move 4. 1, 2, 3. And he's gonna probably stay here, because I want to have these guys block this group up there a bit. Second one is gonna be this guy. He's also gonna attack the EVAB engineer, of course, and he's gonna roll a blue and a yellow. That's very bad against the black die. I have 2 damage, and 1 surge is a pierce 1. So I deal 2 damage again. Got to 4. And now this guy is moving to there. And he will actually also try to shoot at this guy with blue and yellow. Black, so I have 3 damage and a surge against 2 blocks. I use the surge to pierce 1, which means 1 block remaining, 3 damage against 1 block. It's 2 damage, and this is enough to get rid of the EVAB engineer, because he has only 5 health and he would have now 6 damage. Technically he cannot suffer more damage than he has health, but it's not important right now. So yeah, we'll move him up to there, where I parked my other droids. Oh, he's token too. Okay, that's pretty good. I still can move with the last rebel trooper, and I will probably not... Or I will, but where to put him? 1, 2, 3, 4... I could try to block here so the probe droid has a hard time shooting at Mac if he wants to. Or I could park him here. That's also good. Then it's hard to shoot at Gideon, which I want to avoid. 2. How much damage has... No, it's actually not that bad. I need to block Fenn if I want to block anyone. Okay, I will stay like this. And then these are gone. Oh, shit, I forgot. Okay, now I need to activate one of these guys, and since I forgot to defeat him before he could activate, I will now activate the worst group I could face, which is the probe droid. And now I defeated it. No! That was the wrong button. And now I get why people on the forum says there is an urgent need of an undo button. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not gonna show how we continue from here. Let's just say we defeated him. And maybe for this we take a number of wounds on let's say on Gideon. Let's say Gideon suffered 5 damage. Which is not reasonable, but I think it's a fair trade, a semi-fair trade. Now, gonna activate the activate the Stormtroopers. So they are going to move free to attack Mac Ashkari, and this is also what I wanted to show. if the move action says to, if the attack action says to move a number of spaces and attack a specific figure. Now, if that figure cannot have or cannot move to a space where it can attack its target, then it tries to attack the. Then it tries to resolve this action for the nearest target it has. In this case, it would be the rebel troopers. So instead of having Meg Ashkari suffer the damage now, these troopers are going to get it. So first of all, this guy would move up to 2 and shoot at one of. Let's just shoot at the next rebel trooper here and attack with a blue and a green. And the rebel troopers defend with a white die. And he's suffering 2 damage because, of course, the damage and the surge are cancelled by my defense result. And then he is going to move to reposition 4, which is actually very, very far. 1, 2. Cannot really reposition 4, but yeah. Next one is going to 1, 2, 3. These blue fields, of course, if you enter a space contained within a blue field, you need to spend 1 additional movement point. In this case, it doesn't really matter because the Stormtrooper has a movement, has 3 move anyway, which means you can spend 2 to get to here and spend 1 to get out of the blue field. And this is very nice now, because this is the one result we haven't seen right now on the defense die. It's the dodge result, which means that all of the damage dealt by this attack is cancelled, so I don't suffer any damage by this attack. And the guy is moving 2 to reposition 4. This guy is moving 1, 2, 3, and he's also attacking this guy. Blue, green against the white, and now he's suffering 2 damage, which is enough to kill him. He's also coming back, probably, we'll see. And he's also moving 2 to reposition 4, which is probably somewhere here. And then finish, and now it's my turn. Okay, I wanted to... So these 2 officers haven't gone yet, and I know they can give the Stormtroopers attacks, so what I want to do is try to get rid of at least this guy here. 2, 4. But since Mac isn't as good at shooting at them, maybe we'll take... We actually should take Fenn here, but Fenn wants to run. We will take Gaarkahn and attack the officer. And the officer only has 3 health and a white defense die, but he has the cow ability, which does nasty things, which we'll see in a moment. So Gaarkahn will activate and attack the black Imperial officer with red and yellow against the white die. And of course, defense does the damage doesn't go through because also he is rolling a dodge result. Not to fear, we will just roll another time. Yellow red against the white. Another dodge result. That's bad. It's really bad. So Gaarkahn now, he could technically strain 2 to move 2 spaces, which would be a good idea if he wants to be there next round. This means he cannot. He has endurance of 4, so he cannot suffer more strain now. But I want him to move to the Stormtroopers because they will present the biggest threat next round. Okay, Black Imperial Officer. This figure can order another Imperial figure with a figure cost of 4 or less instead of 3 or less. This doesn't factor into anything right now. Figure costs are either if it's a deployment card with only 1 figure, it is the big number. If it's a deployment card with more than 1 figure, then it's the small number. So in this case, the Stormtroopers are 2, the Imperial Officer is 2. The EWAP would actually be 5, so he couldn't, or 6 rather, so he couldn't order the EWAP. But of course he could order the probe droids around. So first of all, activation. Special action order. Another Imperial figure with a figure cost of 3 or less that can perform an attack attacks the rebel hero who has suffered the most damage. So the most damage would actually be Fenn, but the only figures that can attack, because he's activating, only these figures can attack. And of course we will choose one of the Stormtroopers because that is the worst result. And the Stormtroopers see only these two figures, and of these two, Gaarkahn has the most damage suffered, so this guy will just attack Gaarkahn with a range of 2. It's an automatic range, so he will roll a blue and a green against my black. This means 3 damage suffered by Gaarkahn again, which is very bad, but at least I'm focused again. And then he also has an attack action. If this figure did not use order, which it did, move 3 to attack the rebel who has suffered the most damage. So this never resolves because it says if this figure did not resolve order, but it did, so this is skipped. We move on to the next, which is a move 1 to attack the rebel who has suffered the most damage. He will do this now by moving up to Gaarkahn and rolling his blue and yellow against his black. And search priority is plus 2 accuracy. We don't need it, so we don't do it. Focus doesn't trigger because you need to deal damage before you can use focus. So we only use the +1 damage, but I roll 2 blocks against +1 damage, so it doesn't deal any damage. So that's nice for us, bad for them. But he's done now, which means only one figure is activating, and this is this guy. And we have still Fenn, Mac, and Gideon left. Oh, okay. The chances of me removing this guy is very slim. I would have to use 1, 2, 3. I need to move up. Then I can't even use ambush. It's a very bad deal for me. So what I'm gonna do is I will... How much strain do we have here? I will use Gideon now to get... Oh, he has suffered actually 5 damage. Oops. I will use Gideon to give an attack to Fenn. So he's activating, suffering 2 strain. He has an endurance of 5, so he has still 1 strain remaining. Now he will give this attack to Fenn, who will roll a blue and a green against a white. And it's a dodge again, which is very bad for me. Then he's going to suffer 1 strain to move up. And he now rests, clearing all of his strain. And now he can still move 1 space, which we will do, I think, yeah. So he suffers 1 more strain. And that's Gideon's activation. And this dodge results, it's really bad. Okay. So, and the second officer gets the bonus. The first Imperial attack gains +1 surge. Uh-oh. Okay, order. Another Imperial figure with a figure cost of 3 or less that can perform an attack attacks the hero with the closest hero with a melee weapon equipped. So we will again use the Stormtrooper to attack this guy. And don't forget, the Stormtrooper gets now +1 surge to his attack results. So we will use an attack with blue and green against the black. Oh. And that's actually 5 damage. Because 4 damage from here, and they can... Let's see if I can pull it up. Surge priority, +2 accuracy, we don't need this. So it's going to spend the surge for +1 damage. 5 damage, that's very... Oh, sorry. I'm at 11 damage now. And I would gain focus, but I'm already focused, so... Doesn't change anything. And then... The second action is skipped again, so we move on to move 1 and attack the closest hero with a melee weapon equipped. He's moving 1, attacking Gaarkahn with blue and yellow against my black. Oh, and he has +1 damage and focus. This means he deals 1 damage, and I'm not wounded right now. No, I'm 14 health. +1 damage. And he is focused now, which is very bad. And that's this activation. Now I get to go with either Mac or Fenn. I really need to get rid of this guy. 1, 2, 5. I could also move up 5 and try to clear up there. And maybe even... yeah, that's not a bad idea, really. Okay, so we'll use Fenn. Doesn't have any strain, so we will gain 1 strain for 1 movement point. Then take a move action. He has a movement speed of 4. Yes. Movement speed of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually move to there. And then I'm gonna attack this guy with blue and green against the black. Ugh. Ugh, that's not good. I can now either deal 2 damage to this guy or 1 damage to each of these guys, because I could use blast if I want to. No, sorry, forget what I said. It's 3 damage plus 1 damage from the surge against 2 block. It's meaning 2 damage on this guy. And then I use Havoc Shot, which means I need to suffer 1 strain. And I gain Blast 1, which means all targets adjacent to the target space, or all figures adjacent to the target space, suffer 1 damage. So first of all I need to gain 1 strain. Now I need to give this guy damage and this guy damage. And I completely forgot that we also have Cower, but it wouldn't have any effect because... let's see if I can bring it up here. No. No. I'll show it in the next round. The officers have an ability to heal other figures, so it doesn't really do anything. Wait, why didn't this guy activate? Did I activate the wrong... no, I did activate the wrong officer, but since we cleared an activation without defeating it before, let's just keep it that way. Okay, so we will do... what do we do? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, that was Fenn's activation. We still have Mac, who will, from where he's standing, attack the black officer with blue against the white. Not a dodge, and we do it again. Not a dodge. I'm considering looking at the white... oh, sorry. At the white dice. Oh, it's yellow. Where's the white die? No, there's only 1 dodge in there, so it's just terrible luck on my side. And he will move 1, 2, or a strain of 2, and tuck himself into there. That's max activation. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. It's bad news for us. We have 3 black stormtroopers on the board, which means there's another probe droid coming. It's gonna be the black one. And I'm at a serious action disadvantage here now, because that's probably not the only group that will be spawning. Where is he? He's there, and he's black. Yeah, like I said, not the only probe droid that's gonna pester me now. But at least the other one is far away, so he will probably not get a shot off, or a decent shot off this turn. Oh. Okay, and this is the purple one. Only 4 transports have yet to depart, Lieutenant Telcon says over the comlink. Keep standing strong. Okay, I get to activate first. And I really consider taking Gaarkahn first, and trying to... or take Fenn first. It's probably the better idea. Try to defeat these guys. With 2 blasts. Should be possible. Yeah. Let's take Fenn first. He's going to attack this guy. No, wait. Yeah, he needs to attack this guy. This is bad. Because he would suffer 1 damage himself. Oh. Okay. Let's still do what I said. Well, let's not. Let's actually not. Let's move 1 here for 1 strain. And then, let's see, he has only, no, also doesn't work. Let's do it from here. I will attack this guy with a blue and a green. Oh, that's really bad. And I'll deal exactly 0 damage, which means I can also not blast my way through this. So all I can do is recover 1 surge. Do it again. Blue and green against the black. And now I don't have a surge, but at least 1 damage in here. Suffer 1... Oh, whoops. Suffer 1 strain. And do a blast. So this guy is on 3. This guy is on 2. Which is also very bad because they're gonna get healed anyway by the officers. And now... Can't do anything else. So I'm probably gonna strain 1 here and recover the strain at the end of the round, so nothing changes actually. And it looks more and more grim for me because Fenn just activated. Black Stormtroopers move 3, and the hero with the highest endurance would be Gideon, but they cannot get to Gideon. So 1, 2, 3. He could shoot at Mac. How many endurance is Mac? Oh, Mac has also endurance enough. So 1, 2, 3. Let's take it like... Huh. How do we do this now? I don't think I can... Oh, he's repositioning anyways. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And he's shooting at Mac with blue and green against the white. Now why don't I get these dodge results? Okay, it's 1 damage on Fenn, on Mac, and he gets whoops. Oh, and he actually rolls 1 additional green die, so I get 2 extra damage. Because the bonus is the first figure in this group declares an attack, add 1 green die to the attack pool. Move 3 to attack the hero with the highest endurance. We did this. Move 2 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. He's also attacking. Blue, green against my white. Which means 2 damage again. Oh, this doesn't look good. And he's repositioning there. And that's them. So, this guy's... Wait, he just spawned. He shouldn't have any damage. He also shouldn't have any damage. So... I don't want to shoot at the... How are they called? At these guys, or the Stormtroopers, because it doesn't really do anything for me. I could use these guys to attack this probe droid, I guess. I don't know. But I probably won't defeat him. Oh, that's that's amazing. Okay. Okay. I could give Gaarkahn an attack to attack this guy. It's also not really good. At least he would be gone, but these are more of a threat right now. Because if I could get rid of this guy at least, then the attack given by the officers aren't nearly as strong. So how do I get rid of this guy? He's almost full strength, so it's not a good idea to use him. He could rest and charge. Where does he go then? I don't know. Yeah, we'll take Gaarkahn. He's resting, recovering 4 strain. He's charging to here. Can at least cleave then for 2 strain. Attacking the black probe droid with a red, green, yellow against the black. That's 5 damage. That's amazing. This guy's gone without having done anything. It's very nice of you, Gaarkahn. Finally, you paid off my plan. And now he could actually either move or let's go get this guy here. Because I also want to get rid of this guy. Because he's focused and he can hurt quite a lot if he's focused. So let's just attack this guy with a red and a yellow against the white. Whoa, finally! Okay, 3 damage against the black officer. Defeats him. He of course loses his focus. Let's see, did I clear the damage of this guy? Yes. Yeah. And now I have still the opportunity to... First of all, I can recover 1 strain via the surge here. And now I can strain 2, which I will use to go to here. No, I only will strain 1 to here. And that's Gaarkahn. We need to remember to defeat all of these guys. So this is the black probe droid is defeated, and the black officer is also defeated. It's very good. We'll go to there. And that's Gaarkahn. Very nice. Purple probe droid, game plus, and he can basically shoot from anywhere because he has so much accuracy now. Move 2 to attack Mag Ashkari. He cannot move 2 to attack Mag Ashkari, but he will move 2 and attack Gaarkahn. Oh wait, Mag Ashkari. He will attack the closest rebel figure. This is this guy here. So don't really need to block Gaarkahn here. Okay, so he will now shoot at this guy with his blue, yellow, yellow against the white, and he gets a bonus surge. So, oh, this is 2 damage. Oh wait, this is 1 damage and 2 surges, and 3 surges. 1 for pierce, 1 for damage. It's 2 damage only. Is this correct? Okay. Let's open up the surge. Priority here. So first of all, I have 1, 2 damage and 4 surges. 1 surge is cancelled, so 3 surges and 2 damage. This means one of them is plus 1 damage, so it's 3 damage, and he gets also pierce 1 via the next surge and recover, which doesn't do anything. But all in all, this guy is defeated. And now he wants to move to engage as many rebels as possible, which isn't possible because engage means to be adjacent to them. So he instead moves 2 to reposition 3. You can see he's moving there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So he's moving 2 to reposition 3 to Gideon. And he's done. And I need only to defeat the purple guy with... Do I have Fenn still left? No. I have Mac. And I have Gideon. I have Gideon, and I could shoot at strain 2 and 1, 2, 3 and command Fenn to shoot at the purple guy. Because why does he have 3 damage here? Did I defeat him and I forgot it? No, he should only have 2. This is... I must have input wrong before. So instead of doing what I said I'd do, I give a command to Mac. So +2. And he will use 1, 2, 3, 4. He will use 1 strain to pierce 2 and to attack this guy. with blue against a black. This is enough, and he needs 1 damage, and I can... So pierce 2, this block is pierced. I have 1 damage, and this is all I need to defeat it. And I can use the other surge, or I can use the surge to recover 1 strain. And now he will move 2 with strain, and then he's gonna rest. And that's Gideon. Now the office is going to go. And he can, of course, again order figures that are of higher cost, but he's not going to do that now. So order another Imperial figure with the figure cost of 3 or less that can perform an attack. Attacks the rebel who has suffered the most damage. So that's, in this case, it would be Fenn, because he cannot attack... Oh, wait. Yeah, this purple probe droid will shoot at Gaarkahn. There is a chance that he will miss now, but I actually think that's what we need to do here, because there's a rebel figure, or there's an Imperial figure who can attack the rebel hero with the most damage, and this is Gaarkahn, of course. So this guy will now attack Gaarkahn. Yeah, no bonus other than that. So blue, yellow, yellow, and he has the range. Oh god, and it's a very strong attack. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna throw the black, but it doesn't really matter. So first of all, he's gonna use 1 for +1 damage and 1 for pierce, so this block doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage on Gaarkahn, which means he's wounded now. And he is also not focused. Oh, did I not... Where's his wounded sheet? I thought I had it. Okay, must have forgotten it. Oops. So he's wounded now. Usually I prepare it so that I have the wounded pictures just underneath the regular pictures. He's basically losing endurance, speed, and his attribute tests are getting way worse. So he still has charge, but with an endurance of 3 he cannot use it twice before he has to rest. He can only use it once before he has to rest. Okay. That's the first order. We did resolve order, so we will use the third action, which is move 1 to attack the rebel who has suffered the most damage. He will not use the move 1 because he needs 2 to enter a space that is closer to Fenn, so he will shoot from where he's standing with a blue and a yellow. Fenn will throw a black die, so it's 2 damage in this case. And before we finish this, we need to defeat Gaarkahn. And now we finish this. And oh, of course, and he has Cower. If adjacent to another Imperial figure, recover 2 damage. The adjacent non-focused Imperial figure with the highest figure cost becomes focused. This doesn't happen because he's not adjacent to any Imperial figure, so we are very lucky in this regard, but if there are a lot of figures on the board, this can get out of control really quickly. Or... Okay, so we will have Mac go. Oh, where do you want to go? He will strain up 1 to there. This 1. And then he's gonna rest. And with the second action, he's gonna attack. Suffer 1 strain for ambush. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attack this prop droid with blue against the black. Pierce 2 means he's only has got 1 block. I have 3 damage against 1 block is 2 damage on the prop droid. And that's Mac. Then we only have this guy going. He will probably shoot at this guy. Or do we want to try to move up and shoot this guy? Yeah. I will try to... Wait, can I see him from here? I should actually. Let's see. From here I can... Wait, this... I can see this and see this, so I can shoot at him from where I'm standing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have enough range because I gotta get 2 from the card, from aim, and 2 from the blue dice, so I'm gonna use this. Get +1 bonus damage, so I'm rolling a blue, yellow against a black. This means I deal 4 damage. Only need 1, so the stormtroopers are gone. For real this time. And I think I clawed myself back into the game right now. And he can still move, which he will. 4 to there. So I block access to the for the probe droid to here. And I can use Mac to shoot out there without using the distance without having to use the distance to trigger ambush. So that's my troopers. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. Who would have thought? Oh no, Elite probe droid. That's bad. Because they deal so much damage. Okay, but you don't have a choice, so he's gonna deploy there. Okay.
It's them. Blast them.
Another group of stormtroopers, but they are way out of the action, so not too worried about them. So, one is there. Another one is here. That one is here. And we need to certainly advance towards the door, because that is where we are going to get to safety. Okay. These are the blacks. Only 3 transports have yet to depart, Lieutenant Telcon says over the comlink. Keep standing strong. So 3 more rounds. And now we will... Oh, sorry. Did I switch it over now? Yes. If you're running low on supplies, fall back to the base, Lieutenant Telcon adds. I'll open the door for you. Open the door, place tile 23B and 1 door. So we will do this off screen, so you don't have to look at me trying to figure out how to do this on screen. Okay. Almost done. Just need to figure out how to zoom in now. Okay, almost done. These and these are going to the token layer. I'll switch back to the token layer. Turn this around. And then we can... Oh, whoops. I need to figure out how to do this more consistently. So, I placed this tile, and also I placed the 2 crates that are gonna drop really soon. These are already placed. More rebel troopers come rushing out of the base to provide you with reinforcements. Reinforce regular rebel troopers until there are 3 in the group, which means I get to put 1 here, put 1 here. They don't get actually additional movement points now, which is bad because they are also out of the fight quite long, but at least I have more bodies on the table. Fight them off as long as you can, Lieutenant Telcon says. With the door to the base open, you are presented with an opportunity to fall back to relative safety. Each rebel may interrupt to perform a move action, which is very good. I will use this. First of all, 1, 2, 3, 4. He will go to... Maybe Gideon will stay here, and I will mount my defense here. But also picking up crates is very good, so... not sure. I should run with him for sure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fenn is going to go to here. Gaarkahn only has 3 movement points. 1, 2, 3. So we'll put him here. Mac is going to snipe here. And Gideon Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he's going to try to heal Fenn if at all possible. And these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's leave a little bit of space here. This guy, I don't care really. He can stay here. Okay, then I get to activate. First of all, I'm going to try to use Fenn and shoot this guy. Maybe twice, and then try to get to safety. Yeah, that's the best idea I have. Because all other stuff I can do afterwards too. So, Fenn, he will shoot with blue and green against the black. This is very good, it's 2 damage. It's not the 3 damage I was hoping for, but puts me in a very good position to actually get this guy on the next attack, which I will do now with blue and green against black again. So I only need 1 damage, which I'm having without spending the surge. So this guy's gone. Purple. Bye bye. Nice to see you. You can go right away now. I used the last surge for a recover 1. And then I'm gonna spend 2 strain to move up to here. And then we need to defeat, this was the purple probe droid, and Fenn activated, and let's meet. So now the elite probe droid, self-destruct, free. At the end of this activation, if this figure is adjacent to a rebel and has suffered 3 or more damage, roll 1 red die. Each adjacent rebel suffers damage equal to the damage results, then this figure is defeated. So he's basically on a suicide mission, but only if he has suffered damage. So he hasn't suffered damage, and I'm probably not going to attack him this round, so this doesn't do anything. But he has targeting computer again, so move 3 to attack Mag Ashkari. So where can I get with 3? I can get to here or to here. So he cannot attack anyone by moving 3. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. He cannot have line of sight to anyone here. 1, 2, 3, and there's also no line of sight to Gaarkahn, I think. Oh, he has line of sight to Gaarkahn here. Yeah, he has. Yes. Let's see, who... Yeah, Mac. He needs to attack Gaarkahn now. From here. With 1, 2, 3, 4 range, which is... It's far away, but... And he gets +1 damage and +2 accuracy, which... It's automatic range for him now. So, he will attack Gaarkahn with a blue, 2 yellows. Against my black. So the range is okay. He has 4 damage because he gets +1 from the targeting computer. He has 5 range. Actually, he has 7. He has 10 range or 9 range or whatever. So don't really need to know all of this. So 4 damage and a pierce 2 probably, or +2 damage is actually the same here. 4 damage +2 damage is 6 damage against my 4 block. Against my 2 block means I'm going to suffer 4 damage on Gaarkahn. And now, move 2 to engage as many rebels as possible. Doesn't happen because he can't engage anyone. So he's gonna move 2 to reposition 3. And it's 1, 2, 3. He's going to go through here. It's finished. Now, I don't want to overextend, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use Mac and do an interact on this crate. Let's see what's in there. Draw 2 supply cards. You gain 25 credits. And now I can finally shuffle my supply deck and explain how it works. So I'm gonna draw 2. First, second card. Oh, and 2 credits. Okay, and these are actually going to get into possession of Mac in this case. Let's zoom in a bit. Maybe I can read it. Oh, it's... yeah, okay. So, first this is shock grenade. For an action, choose a space within 3 spaces. Roll 1 yellow die. Each figure adjacent to that space suffers damage equal to the damage results and becomes stunned. Then discard this card. So yellow die doesn't have too many damages on it. So, but it has a lot of surges. So doesn't really do anything in this case. But even if it doesn't deal any damage, it still stuns the opponents, which is very nice. Then I have the frag grenades. Choose a space within 3 spaces and roll 1 red die. Each figure and object on or adjacent to that space suffers damage equal to the damage result. Then discard, discard. So this is actually a red die which deals much more damage than a yellow die, and I can wipe out this group of stormtroopers really easily with just the frag grenade. And maybe blast from Fenn or so. And I gain 25 credits. That's very good. So, that's the first action. Second action is probably going to be... he could rest and... yeah, gonna strain 2. So he is on free strain. Now I'm going to rest. And I'm going to use a med pack to recover 5 damage on Mag. So he is... oh, let's make it this. So he is at full health again and ready to kick ass on the Stormtrooper squad next round. That's Mag. Now we have the Black Stormtroopers. When the first figure in this group declares an attack, add 1 green die to the attack pool. Move free to attack Fenn's Cygnus. They can of course not attack Fenn's Cygnus, so this is an illusion. 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 to attack. He cannot actually... he cannot see him, so they need to attack Gaarkahn here, which is very bad for me. Okay, so I'm gonna show this 1, 2, 3. Maybe one of them can actually not going to attack. So, he can see Gaarkahn from here, I think. Yes. He can see this corner and this corner. So he's gonna attack Gaarkahn with green, green, blue. Against my black die. So it's basically 2 damage, and the surge is 3 damage. And the second surge for accuracy I don't need really, so there's enough range in this already. So it's 3 damage again. He's sitting at 7 and he's already wounded. So the next one, 1, 2, 3, and he should also be able to see Gaarkahn with a 1, 2, 3, range of 4. Just the blue and the green now against the black. And he doesn't need... oh, he does. So he needs to do +2 accuracy with the surge. So he has actually the range. Now he has 2 damage against 1 block, which means I only suffer 1 damage. Pleasant surprise. And the last one cannot actually attack anyone. So he's moving 2 to reposition. Wait, moving 2 there. And then he's... whoop. And then he's moving 6 to reposition 4. 1, 2. Because now, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 4 from Mag. That's the activation of the purple. I actually have to take Gaarkahn here now. And maybe put him back somehow. I don't know. Rest and move. Sounds awful, but probably gonna do it. Yeah, take Gaarkahn. He's gonna... yeah, he's gonna rest. And he's also using a med pack, I think. No, it's only... nah, he's not gonna use a med pack. 1, 2... oh, he's going to go there. Yeah. That's Gaarkahn. He's very, very, very weak when he's wounded. Okay, the officer already can order figures of cost 4 or less. So, they cannot attack Gaarkahn because this guy doesn't have line of sight to Gaarkahn. Also, he's figure cost 5, so he cannot be ordered right now by his officer. So only the Stormtroopers can attack. This Stormtrooper can attack... can he see Gideon? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, he can see Gideon. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But also this guy can see the trooper, and he will... yeah, he can see the trooper. 1, 2, 3, and he will shoot at the trooper. So... there's no melee weapon in any of this, but this is the closest rebel figure that I'm going to attack. Blue, green against the white. It's 1 damage. It's okay. And now move 1 to attack the closest priority. He cannot attack anyone, so he's moving free to engage the other Imperial figure with the most health remaining. 1, 2, 3. He cannot do this actually. If I'm not adjacent, then I move 4 to reposition 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Actually, he's only moving to there. Yeah. Because this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's using this. Cower, if adjacent to another Imperial figure, recover 2 damage. Doesn't happen. The adjacent figure becomes focused, which also doesn't happen. We are very lucky in the fact that this blue field prevented this guy from engaging the probe droid and giving him a focus at the end of the round. Or at the end of his activation. Now I have Gideon and the troopers left. I want to... This guy will shoot... Yeah. This guy will stand here and shoot at the black stormtrooper with blue-yellow against the black. I have +1 bonus damage, but 3 blocks doesn't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna head back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot at the guy. That's 2 damage. And now this guy is still going. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot get line of sight here. Shit. Oh no. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Shooting at the stormtrooper down there. Dealing only 1 damage. Now he's going to stay there. Okay. That's the troopers. Now I can use Gideon to give an attack to this guy and probably get rid of this or this. Yeah, let's use this guy. Gideon. +2. This guy is shooting at the black stormtrooper with blue-yellow, +1 damage, of course. Yeah, and he's suffering 3 damage, which is totally enough to get rid of this stormtrooper. And now Gideon still can use 1 action to... Wait, first of all, this crate is gone. Because I actually picked it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Gideon. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. That's not what I want to hear. How many black stormtroopers are on the board? 2. Reinforce 1 black stormtrooper. I knew this. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Oh, what? No. No. Don't. Shit. Okay. E-Web. I need to actually port it because I never seen the elite E-Web engineer appearing in the first mission. Okay. That's very bad, but we'll see. Maybe we can still escape this guy. Because he has an auto block, he has 7 health. I'm just gonna not attack this guy because why would I? Don't deploy more figures. No, stop. 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 So this is a black officer. Okay. And he is going to spawn... Oops. Here. Oh, okay. Through the smoke and haze from the blast fire, you see the outline of a dark, imposing figure standing out of the jungle. It is not until a glowing red blade appears in the figure's hand that you realize a Dark Lord of the Sith has arrived. You know that you have no chance of defeating Darth Vader. Deploy Darth Vader. Darth Vader cannot be defeated. Uh-oh. Okay. I anticipated that. So, I'm gonna move him on the board. Where is he? He's there, correct? No. Oh yeah, he's there. He's there. And he's of course a very strong figure. With an attack of red, red, yellow and pierce 3 and plus 2 damage and double attacks and whatnot. So only 2 transports have yet to depart, Lieutenant Gaarkahn says over the comic. Keep standing strong. And I think we are on very good track to actually successfully finish this mission because we are sufficiently far in the back right now. Okay, so what's the actual concern here? This guy being ordered to shoot at Fenn would be bad. So Fenn will probably strain 1, move and rest. This is the best idea I have now. Yeah. So Fenn will strain 1. Move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. By also using a med pack. So -5. And I'm now playing chicken with these guys. This was Fenn. Now Vader is going. At the end of the figure's activation, each rebel adjacent to this figure suffers 1 damage. This figure discards each harmful condition, then suffers 1 damage for each condition. This is actually... This doesn't apply here because he cannot suffer damage anyway. Or he can suffer damage, but he's never defeated, so all of this damage suffering doesn't do anything. So, attack action. It's 2 actions, but it's brutality. Move forward to engage 2 or more rebels, then attack each adjacent rebel. He cannot do this because 1, 2, 3, 4. You can only engage this guy. So we will move forward to attack Fenn Cygnus. This also doesn't happen because Fenn is back there. Which means he will attack this guy instead. So 1, 2, 3, and attack this guy with an attack of red, yellow against my white. It's a dodge again. So first of all, this would be terrible damage because it's 6 damage on the red die, 7 damage, plus 2 it's 9 damage. But of course our rebel trooper, lucky as he is, Vader just doesn't hit him. So he's now moved 2 towards Fenn Cygnus. Then that figure suffers 2 damage and 1 strain. So 1, 2. He's moving to there, and then regardless of where Fenn Cygnus is standing, or regardless if Vader has line of sight to him, he's suffering 2 damage and 1 strain. And that's Vader. So I will now try to use the rebels to probably, I'm not sure, should I shoot at the black officer? Because that's not a bad idea. The officers, they would focus the stormtroopers, which could be bad in the next round. Or I could also try to get rid of the troopers in the first place. But the officer could also focus Vader, which can end badly too. So first of all, this guy will shoot at the Imperial at the stormtrooper with blue, yellow against the black. Don't forget we have a bonus damage, 3 damage and a pierce. So this is 3 damage and I pierce the block. So this guy's gone. And he can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy is now attacking 1, 2, 3, 4. He's no. From where he's standing, shooting with blue, yellow against the white. Okay, that's good. I get a bonus damage, but that's not enough still. The search is of course cancelled. I get a bonus damage, 2 damage on the black officer. Not enough to get rid of him, but maybe soon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, Or I don't know. Maybe we can. I don't know. I will keep him here and make a barricade out of rebel troopers. Okay, that's the rebel troopers. Not the best activation in the world, but whatever. So, tiny computer, move free to attack Mike Ashkaway. That doesn't happen. Can he move free to attack anyone? 1, 2, 3. I can attack Gideon. He can attack Gaarkahn again. I don't know what's going on, but Gaarkahn is suffering so much attacks now. Yeah, he will do this. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 range. So he's going to attack with a bonus damage and bonus +2 accuracy against the black die. Accuracy is okay. +1 damage is 4 damage. Just 4 damage. And 2 surges. The surges, of course, +2 damage, 6 damage, and pierce 2. So 8 and 6 are 14. That's the end of Gaarkahn. That's a very sad turn of events. So he has, of course, suffered 6 to a total of 14, and he's now completely defeated. Well, that doesn't mean we have lost the game, just that we have lost another activation. Then move 2 to engage as many rebels as possible. This doesn't happen, so move 2 to reposition 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to go to there. Finish. And now I will 1, 2, 3, 4. I will take Gideon. Yes, Gideon will give Mac an attack. Suffer 2 damage. 2 strain, of course. Sorry. Mac will suffer 1 strain to attack this guy with pierce 2. Blue, blue against a black. So pierce 2, this is negated. 2 damage on this guy. And second action is he will actually pick up the crates. Interact. You gained 2 med packs. You gained 25 credits. That's also very good. Okay. And now he is done, I think, right? Because there's nothing I... Oh, I can place this here. Because there's nothing he can do still, so let's do it like this way. Okay. So at the start of his activation, if this figure does not have line of sight to a rebel, move 1 towards the closest rebels. He does have line of sight to the this guy and also to Mac, but he cannot attack Mac because technically he doesn't have line of sight because the distance is too great, and with Mac's covert abilities means he's not visible to the EWAP engineer. Imperial figures do not block line of sight, block this figure's line of sight. This is very bad. Attack Fenn Cygnus doesn't happen, so he instead attacks the Rebel Trooper with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A range of 6, so let's say he is rolling, where is he? Blue, red, yellow. Blue, red, yellow against the white. Okay, so he has a automatic accuracy of a bonus of... Oh wait, what's going on? Yeah. +3 accuracy, so he has 4 + 3 is 5 + 3 is actually 8, so he's hitting. And I only negate this here, so he is dealing 4 damage. Does he have a bonus damage? No, he only has a bonus block, so this guy's gone. And now, whoops. This is skipped because he cannot attack anyone else. This is also skipped because this would be a double action. He only has 1 action left. And this is also perform the prisoner. It becomes stunned. If this figure did not attack, move 6 to reposition 3. Actually, that's a good question. So I did this and attacked the Rebel Trooper. Now, this cannot resolve because he cannot attack... Oh wait, can he see this guy? No, he cannot see this guy. He cannot see any other Rebel figure. So this is skipped. This is also skipped because he already spent an action. And this cannot be done because he already attacked. So I say he doesn't do anything. I don't know. Because he cannot do any of his actions right now. Seems bad, but maybe that's how it works. Yeah, let's say that's how it works. Okay. My turn again. I still have Mac, who will probably go right now. He needs to go now. First of all, he's gonna spend 1 strain to attack this guy with blue against the black. Pierce 2 means I deal full damage. 5, and I do the same again. And just for reference, 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't have a line of sight to Mac, so I can use ambush. So again, blue against the black. This is pierced, and I do this for convert this into bonus damage. So he's suffering plus 2 damage. He's defeated, and now he's gone. Like this. And now Mac is going to go to here. And he's full strained and his activation is done. Purple officer, where is this guy? I just thought each Imperial figure within 3 spaces of this figure discards 1. It's not so 3 spaces would be 1, 2, 3. He would recover 2 damage, but he hasn't suffered any damage. The other figures are too close. Another Imperial figure with the figures can perform an attack. This doesn't resolve because it doesn't do anything, because I'm tucked away nice and clean back there. If this figure is not moved free to attack, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Can he see someone from there? 2, 3. No, he cannot. Cannot see anyone from there, so this is also skipped. Move free to engage the other Imperial figure with the most health remaining. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He needs to go to whoops. He needs to go to here. And then the rest is skipped. The adjacent non-focused Imperial figure with the highest figure cost becomes focused. So he is actually focused. Which is bad because now he's rolling 4 dice again instead of 3. He's done. Now the black stormtroopers move free to attack Mac. Doesn't really do anything. 1, 2, 3. This guy's actually moving 1, 2, 3 and attacking this rebel trooper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because he can. Green and white. And it's a dodge. It's very good. The next one can only move 2 to reposition 4. 1, 2. And now move 6 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually very bad because how they are standing, he doesn't get the opportunity to go past Vader here. Okay. This doesn't resolve because no figures are within 3 spaces. Order Imperial figure figures of 3 can perform an attack. The hero with the most insight dice. I cannot attack any hero, but this guy can attack the rebel trooper, so we do this instead. Blue, green against the white. Range is okay. 2 damage on this guy, and he's gone. Then move 1 to attack the hero with the most. This also doesn't happen. Move 3 to engage the other. 1, 2, 3. He will engage there. And then these guys would technically recover damage, but instead this guy is becoming focused because of what's here. Finished. More Imperial forces come bursting out of the jungle. How many black stormtroopers? 2. Reinforce 1 black stormtrooper. And he's spawning there. Okay. Oh god. Another probe droid. As if we don't have enough of these already. So, probe droid. It's a black probe droid and he is going to spawn. Whoops. He's going to spawn here. Don't you want to... Oh god. Don't you want to lay off on the spawning right now? I don't know. There's a little bit much on the board. These guys are going to deploy here, and they are, ugh, so much health, and they can stun, and this is really bad. Just one transport left, so if we survive this round, I think we have won. So we need to have at least one healthy hero at the end of this round, which should be possible, because, again, we will do this. And prepare the rest of the map. Background. Whoops. What? Okay. Okay. Oops. So there is another map tile. Okay, so we have the withering fire from the Imperial forces is taking its toll on your team. We are nearly done loading the last of the transport, Lieutenant Gaarkahn informed you over your comlink. We just need a little more time. I'll clear you away to your ship if you need to make an escape. Another door opens on a remote signal from the command center. Open the door, place tiles, I already placed them, and then place 2 crates. I already placed them too. Reinforce regular troopers until they are free in the group, so I get to use these guys to block again. That's all I'm doing with them. Okay. The oppressive jungle heat saps your strength. Each hero may test strength. Each hero that does not pass suffers 1 strain. So, we get to see attribute tests now. So, strength is for Gideon, it's blue and green. And I did roll at least 1 surge, this means I passed the test. Mac also has blue and green. He also passes the test, and Fenn also has blue and green. And he also passes the test, so I don't get any strain here, which is good, because it'll be the last thing I need. So, in anticipation that we... this door is of course gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can pick up this crate. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to pick up the crates again, so I will start with Gideon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up this crate because I get credits for this stuff, and I got to draw supply cards, which I don't need really. Another shock grenade I'm probably not going to use. So this is the activation of Gideon. He moved from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can strain to get to there. And he's at 5 strain, and that's enough. And I gain credits, which I can use to buy more stuff after the mission. Okay. Darth Vader. Apply +1 attack to blah 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 blah. Brutality. Move 4 to engage 2 or more rebels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's happening. We are doing this. So, brutality. Move 4 to engage 2 or more rebels, then attack each adjacent rebel. So, he's attacking this rebel trooper first with red, and yellow against the white. So he's dealing 5 damage. The rebel trooper, he is sliced in half. Now he's doing the same to Mac. Red, yellow, white. And don't forget, it's actually 6 damage because he has a bonus damage for each attack. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage plus a surge, but you have a surge cancel and 1 block, so it's only, under air quotes, only 4 damage. And then he's done, because that's a double action. Which means I'm going to go with Fenn right now. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm playing this very, very cautiously. Interact with this crate, draw 2 supply cards. We'll do this off screen now. Don't get any credits? What's going on here? So another card, and now I get med packs and adrenal stims, which can Let's go over the card real quick. Whoops. The med pack is just like the med pack I have in store here. Discard after you rest, you or an adjacent friendly figure recovers 5 damage. The only difference is that this med pack can also be used on friendly figures when I rest. So if I don't have, if Fenn wouldn't have any damage, but an adjacent figure would have, he can rest, use this med pack, and heal the adjacent friendly figure. Adrenal Stem, discard this card during activation to choose yourself for an adjacent friendly figure. Chosen figures recovers 3 strain and becomes focused. Focus is always good to boost up your defense, your attacks. So shouldn't take this too lightly. So Fenn is done. Now the E-Web Engineer. Now this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. This also doesn't happen. If this figure did not attack, move 6 to reposition 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because he needs to pay double. Oh wait, I need to do this differently. He's actually turning about 90 degrees. Like this. And this also costs 1 movement point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because he can see farther into the base then. So I still have Mac and the very, very nice guys here. I will use the the troopers to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or because Vader isn't going to move anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it. Don't want to attack anyone, I don't need to. So, Rebel Trooper. Elite Probe Droid is... Where is this guy actually? Did I forget to defeat him? I think I forgot to defeat him, right? Oh, yeah, I think I killed it with what's it called? So, defeat Elite Probe Droids with Mech last round, and I forgot to defeat him. So we will instead activate these guys. Okay, move 4 to attack Gideon Argus. This doesn't happen. He can only 1, 2, 3, 4, and he can only attack this guy. So he will do this 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they have reach. It's on the card somewhere. Yeah, they have reach, which means they cannot only use their melee attack to attack adjacent targets, but also targets 1 space away. Oh, 2 spaces away actually. So he can move up, attack this, what's it called, this Rebel Trooper with red, yellow, blue. Because they have red, yellow attack, and the first figure gets 1 blue extra die, so red, yellow, blue. And I get to defend with a white die, and this is of course actually not enough, so because they don't have any bonus damage, which means Pierce doesn't do anything because it didn't roll any blocks. He's only going to do 2 damage and stun me, plus 2, and he's also stunned. Doesn't really do anything, but... And then he's moving 3 towards the oh wait, move 3 to engage as many non-Guardian Imperial figures as possible. 1, 2, 3, like this. Because all of them would get 1 bonus block by when they are defending, so that's why they want to huddle up with their teammates. Now the next one is doing move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing the same attack again, just with 1 blue die less. So it's a yellow and a red against a white. And now this guy is of course gone. Clear the damage and also clear the condition. And now as many none, I can engage 2 here. Move 3, 1, 2, 3. He's going to go to here because then he gives blocks. At least to this guy. Doesn't really give it to this guy because the ability is worded a little bit weird in where it says, while a friendly non-guardian figure is defending, and you are adjacent to the targeted space, apply a +1 block to the defense results. Limit once one sentinel or protector ability used per attack. This means only if I attack this space, only if I attack the upper space of the E-web would he get the bonus block. But if I attack the lower space, the bonus block from the from the Imperial Royal Guard does not really apply, which is kind of weird. Okay, now I'm going to use Mac, and he is just going to run away. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. And use a med pack, and he is now fully healed. And that's Mac. We just have to endure the last few activations of the Empire. Self-destruct doesn't do anything. Move 2 to attack. 1, 2. He cannot see anyone from here, so he doesn't do move 2 to attack anyone. Move 2 to engage him many. This is also not happening. Move 2 to reposition 3. 1, 2, 3. Move 4 to engage as many rebels as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, this figure can order. And now I get to see if I can target someone here, but I don't think I can. Yeah, so let's check line of sight. So the purple officer would actually order this guy. Oops, this guy. But I can only see this corner and nothing to the left of this, and I can only see this corner and nothing to the right of this, so it doesn't really happen. So what we do instead is we will use we will use this guy to shoot at the rebel trooper. So it's a blue, yellow, yellow against a white. And this is enough to defeat him, because it's 1, 2, 3 damage. And 2 surges. 1 surge is cancelled, but the second surge can be converted to 1 damage. It's 4 damage. Against my remaining 1 block is 3 damage, and this guy is gone now. Which means he defeated these guys. He is done. Black Stormtroopers. Move to attack Gideon. This doesn't happen, so move 2 to reposition 4. 1, 2. And now move 6 to reposition 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, sorry. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can only go to here. No, to here actually, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, to here. The second one, this is one, and move 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, he would be... yeah, he would be here. This one actually should have gone to here. 1, 2, 3, yeah. They should be standing here. Finish, and now the last officer. Attack with this guy, and I am attacking Fenn because 1, 2, 3, 4. He cannot attack Mac, but Mac also does not block out of sight. So, and melee weapon, there's no hero with a melee weapon in play, so we will just attack Fenn from here, which is a green, another green, and a blue because he's focused, or he was focused. But and Fenn is attacking with a black die, and that's 4 damage plus 1 damage is 5 damage against 3 block is 2 damage on Fenn. Range is okay. And I think that's all she wrote, because he is now... this doesn't have move 3 to engage the other with the most health remaining. This would be not happening because... oh, this is the black one actually, so 1, 2, 3... he would be going to here. He would actually not be moving and giving a focus to this guy. And I forgot this guy should also be focused. Because he would have been focused by the purple officer. And that's it. I think that's it. The last ship is off. Lieutenant Gaarkahn shouts excitedly. Great work. Get yourselves to safety. You retreat through the base to your ship and quickly get aboard. Your pilot is already here, ready to take off as soon as everyone is accounted for. When the last of your team comes aboard, the small freighter takes off and rockets out of the docking bay. Your ship comes alongside the medium transport Freedom Fighter, and the two ships leave Yavin 4's atmosphere only to come face to face with an Imperial Star Destroyer. Fortunately, the Star Destroyer is already preoccupied, hauling in another transport, allowing both your ship and the Freedom Fighter to make their escape into hyperspace. Thanks to your heroic efforts, all of the remaining transports had enough time to take off before the Imperials could reach them. So, and now we will switch back to full screen, I think. Yes. Now we get to... Wait, first of all, I need to close down this stuff here. I can check my equipment. I got a combat code and slicing tools, and I want to open up the pages for these. Combat code and slicing tools. And do 10 again. So, a combat code. So, it gives me... I can attach it to, or I can give it to any one of my heroes. Can you see this actually? No. So I need to make it this. No, it also doesn't work. Yeah, oh, you can read the card. Okay, +2 health, and while defending, you may convert one or more evade results to block results. This helps you against figures that have bad surge abilities, and if you stick this code onto a figure with a white die, which we will do. Mac will going to use this so he has more health, and if he only rolls one evade and the enemy doesn't roll any surges or only has very bad surge abilities, then I get a bonus block, or I can convert the evade into a block anyway. So this is pretty good. The second accessory, we got slicing tools. Exhaust this card while performing a tech test to reroll one die. Choose an adjacent and action. Choose an adjacent droid and test tech. If you pass, that figure suffers 1 damage and becomes stunned. I'm probably never gonna use this second ability, but performing the tech test and reroll 1 die, this is very good. I'll also stick this on Mac for now. Not sure if maybe we'll use this on Gaarkahn in the future, because he's more in the front and he will be closer to objectives. But I know in some of the missions the objectives will be closer to your starting position, so Mac can stay there, snipe away, and still do these interactions and attribute tests. So should be very good. Okay, so that's it. Let's look at the app now. Okay, and now we go to upgrading our heroes, and now we have to open up these. Oop. There's Mac. There is Fenn. And there's Gaarkahn. Gideon. So first of all, we have Fenn. Fenn, Gaarkahn, Gaarkahn, and then we have Mac, and then Gideon. Okay, let's see Fenn. And I have the... Wait, let me show you. I have the opportunity to take either, to either take tactical movement or take cover. Tactical movement, exhaust this card at the start of your activation, choose yourself or a friendly figure within 3 spaces, that figure gains 2 movement points. This kind of movement points are always good. So even though take cover, 1 strain, exhaust this card when an attack targeting you is declared, add 1 white die to your defense pool. Even though this can be very good, I'm not gonna take it at first, so we'll take tactical movement. Let's head over to Gaarkahn. He has now the option to either choose Wookiee Fortitude or Wookiee Loyalty. Wookiee Fortitude is one strain, exhaust this card during your activation to either recover 2 damage or discard one of your conditions. And since there is no way to recover damage by just recovering strain, because in the normal tabletop version, if you recover strain and you don't have any strain, you recover damage instead. But this is lifted, or this is not to be used with the app. So if I rest, if I only have suffered 2 strain and I have 5 endurance, usually I would recover 3 damage, but on the app I only recover the 2 strain. So with that in mind, this is actually a very nice way to recover damage on Gaarkahn. First of all, it doesn't cost an action, and it costs strain, which I can get back by resting anyway, but I cannot get back the damage. But I can convert the strain into healing with this card, and this is why we're probably going to use this first. The other would be Wookiee Loyalty, which exhausts this card while you or an adjacent friendly figure is defending to apply +1 block to the defense rolls. This is also very good, but healing is stronger in the app, so we take Wookiee Fortitude for now. Oops. Now we have Mac, and he has either Disengage, one strain, exhaust this card while a hostile figure enters a space within 3 spaces of you to gain 3 movement points. This is very good, because I can avoid crucial attacks by just rounding the corner when a figure spent all of their movement points. In the tabletop, this is much harder, because an Imperial player can work around this a bit, but the app doesn't intelligently move their figures on the board, so this is very strong. The second would be Supply Network, exhaust this card during activation to test Insight. If you pass, reveal the top card of the supply deck and place it on the top of the top or bottom of the deck, so I can filter the cards and stack the deck in my favor. And action, deplete this card to draw 1 card from the supply deck. This is okay, I'd say. It's since we only play with the core box and 3 cards from the supply decks are already removed, we only start with a supply deck worth of 9 cards. This means I don't need to stack the deck, because I have a very high chance of drawing what I want anyway. So this is very good in the tabletop version, but it's not as good as Disengage in the what's it called, in the app version. So Gideon, last one. Call Shot, exhaust this card while you or a friendly figure is attacking. If the target is in your line of sight, apply +1 surge to the attack results. Or Military Efficiency, exhaust this card while attacking to convert 1 damage result to 1 surge result. Or exhaust this card while defending to convert 1 block result to 1 evade result. Military Efficiency, I don't think it's good in the app. Maybe you guys can enlighten me and say this is good, but I am taking Call Shot for now, because the Surge, it's not as strong in the app campaign, I think, but it's still stronger than Military Efficiency. So, we're done upgrading all of our stuff. We're going to the Armory, and let's see what's cooking. Oh, I see good stuff. I see good stuff. Okay, and the Vibroblade. Let's look at the Vibroblade for now. Vibroblade. This is green. +1 damage. I'd say this is not as good for Gaarkahn as his starting weapon is, because starting weapon has red-yellow and a search for Pierce 1 and a search for Cleave. This technically has Cleave 2, which is okay, but you need to deal damage with the Cleave before you can apply the Cleave, and the +1 damage is certainly better than the Cleave 1, than the Pierce 1, but the yellow and the red, they roll so many symbols that usually you can get what you want, while here sometimes you only roll damage and you really want it to cleave, so it's not as it's maybe more consistent damage on one figure, but with Gaarkahn you don't really want to do this anyway, because he has more options later on to do this more consistently. So we will not take the Vibroblade. Let's look at the DL44. I think this is the gun Han uses, right? Or no, this is the gun Luke uses in Empire Strikes Back, I think. Whatever. We could use this on Gideon, because it has a surge for +2 damage and a surge for +1 damage and +2 accuracy. So its damage is very good for the dice it rolls. I'd say maybe we take it. It's not sure. It only costs 350 and we have 1,000 credits. So let's look at the DH17. Wait, let's do it like this. DH17. And this has +2 accuracy. This is very weak, I think. And I don't know. I mean, it costs 200 credits, but it's still, even for that cost, it's not really good. What is really good is the E11. It rolls the same as Fenn's starting weapon, but it has +2 damage on a surge and +2 accuracy on a surge. So much greater damage potential. So this is what I'm gonna buy for sure. This is what I buy maybe. Let's see what I'm pull now. Let's see the overcharger. I think this actually deplete this card when you declare an attack, remove 1 die from the target's defense pool. This can be good against clearing officers to avoid the dreaded result of them dodging and you never going to get any damage on them. So I'd say it's decent. Balanced Tilt gives you is an exhaust. It gives you 1 surge on a melee weapon. So it's good for Gaarkahn, and I think we're gonna take this no matter what. So this leaves us with 200 credits, and with 200 we will not be able to afford the DL44. So we'll take the overcharger. We'll probably slip this on Fenn, I think. We'll see, yeah. We're gonna probably take the overcharger. Maybe we don't take the Balanced Tilt. I'm not sure, because the surge is really good, because if you don't... Yeah, we will take it for sure, because he can recover strain, even if he doesn't need the surge for any other effects. And by recovering strain, he then can recover damage with his new card, so I'd say this is a must-buy for Gaarkahn. We can look at the Marksman barrel. Oops. I need to learn to type. And this is just +2 accuracy. You don't need this. It's... really, just leave it. So we'll take the overcharger, the E11, and the Balanced Tilt. We have 100 credits left. And we will give this to Fenn, alright. So we will have the E11. It should be somewhere here. Yes, it is there. Resize it. And I can sell these parts for what I paid for them. So overcharger. If I get better weapons later on, I can still sell my previous weapons and get better weapons that way. Okay, and then we have the Balanced Tilt. Balanced Tilt should also be somewhere in there. Of course it is. And it is a drawing, and it needs to get to the back. Okay, like this. Looks good if you ask me. Confirm. And now we leave. And now we come to... Whoops. I actually don't want to make a screenshot, but whatever. I just wanted to go to full screen. Okay, so we have an encounter now, and I think since I need to stop and start recording the podcast so you guys have something to listen to on the go, I will stop here and we'll come back to the encounter between Mission 1 and Mission 2. Hopefully somewhere on the weekend. Can't promise anything, but keep an eye out on our Facebook, which you can find us on Facebook via searching BoardWars.eu. You can find us on Twitter, BoardWars.eu, or you can just join our Discord, which is called... You can join there by typing in your browser discord.me/bweu, and you land in our chat server, and this should be able to tell you when we start, so when I start streaming. Okay, that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed the first mission of the Legends of the Alliance Freedom of the no, Flight of the Freedom Caller, or however it's called, Freedom Fighter, Flight of the Freedom Fighter campaign, and we'll see us again really soon. Until then, may the force be with you, and bye bye.